Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to start a new session since last week we finished the last one. I'm sorry it was too fast, I think, but remember, like, you have any question you can just ask me and I will explain it to you. So now let's start with polynomial. So find the sum of 4m to the 3 plus 2 and 8m to the 3 minus 5 plus 4. So let's start. So I have this. I have 4m to the 3 plus 2m plus 8m to the 3 minus 5m plus 4. Now, we have this parentheses that, like, at the beginning, in the first step, is just write it as they are giving it to us. So we have this and we have this, like this parenthesis and this parenthesis. So now we are going to focus in the sign. Since the sign is a plus sign, a positive sign, we just write it again without the parentheses and leave it as it is. That only happens when it is a plus sign. So plus 8 m m to 3 minus 5m plus 4. So we just write the whole thing. Now, to do the addition, like, we need to look for like terms. Here I see an m to the 3, and here I see an m to the 3. Now here I see an m, so this is an m, this also an m, and I see the 4 alone. So I'm going to start with the one with the greater exponent, which in this case is 3. So I say 4m to the 3 plus 8m to the 3, since they both have m to the 3, I'm just going to addition the numbers. So 4 plus 8 is going to be 12. So 12m to 3. Now let's look for the m. So 2m minus, look at the sign, minus 5m. So we keep the sign of the greater one, which in this case is negative, since 5 is greater than 2, and we use subtract each other. So 5 minus 2 is 3, so this will be 3m. And then the 4 is alone, so we just leave it like that. So our answer is 12m minus 3m plus 4, 12m minus 3m plus 4. Oops, it says which one is correct. I didn't realize that. Either way, we just... Okay, give me 1 second. I'm back and sorry for the little cut, but I think I covered all the answers for the question we're going to be able to cover today. So I just, like, wanted to do it without cheating in a certain way. So let's do this one. Find the sum of these two polynomials. So I'm going to just write them, as I just did. I have my parentheses. Oops, 1 second. So I have my parentheses. 7x to the 5 minus 2x to the 3 plus 6. And then this is a sum. So I'm going to addition them. So it's a plus sign. And then the second parenthesis is 3x to the 5 minus 4x to the 3 minus 2. So since this is a plus sign, I'm just going to, plus. Wait. I'm just going to take away the parentheses and leave everything else. So this will be 7x to the 5 minus 2x to the 3 plus 6 plus 3x to the 5 minus 4x to the 3 minus 2. Now let's see which numbers do I have. Now I see an x to the 5 here. Let me do this better. So I see an x to the 5 here, another x to the 5, and there are no x to the 4, but here is an x to the 3, this is another x to the 3, no x to the 2 or x alone, but there is just a number and then just a number. So let's do this. So I have 7x to the 5 plus 3x to the 5. So 7 plus 3 is 10. And we keep the x to the 5. Now, negative 2x to the 3 and negative 4x to the 3, well, they both have the same sign, and we are, so we just need to addition them together and keep the sign. So it will be minus 4 plus 2 is 6, and x to the 3. Now, in this case, it's just 6 minus 2, which is going to be 4. So this is our final answer, which is 10x to the 5 minus 6 to the 3 plus 4, which is D. And if I do this, I see that was my correct answer. Now let's check number 3. They say to simplify, which we just need to addition them together then. We have a plus sign, and with the plus sign, we just take away the parentheses and leave everything else. So it will be negative x to 5 plus 5x to 3 plus 9. We take away the parentheses, and then plus minus is just minus. So minus x to 5 minus x to 3, 3x to 3 plus 7. So we repeat the process. We have x to 5 here, x to 5 here, x to 3 here, x to 3 here, and then a long number here, long number here. So we addition equally terms or likely terms. Oh, whoa. Okay. Sorry. So we have minus x to the 5 and minus 5x to the 5. Again, we just keep the sign and addition them together. So 1 plus 5 is 6. So this will be minus 6x to the 5. Now, 5 and 3 is 5x to 3 minus 3x to 3. So it will be, we will keep the sign of the greater one, which the greater one is 5 and is positive. So our answer is going to be positive. And then 5 minus 3 is 2. So 2x to 3. And then we have 9 and 7. And 9 plus 7 is 16. So 6x to the 5 plus 2 minus 6x to the 5 plus 2x to the 3 plus 16, which is exactly this one here. Okay, let me use again. Now subtract. This is when the thing change. So I have this. I'm going to write it again. So it is x to 2 plus 5x minus 6 parentheses minus 2x to 2 minus 3x minus 7. Now, as you can see, there is no a positive sign between the parentheses. It is a negative one. So we need to do something different. For the first parenthesis, we're going to keep it as it is. So this is going to be x to 2 plus 5x minus 6. Now, starting from the second parenthesis, since there is a negative sign in the front, we're going to change the sign of the number side. So this minus 2 becomes plus 2x to 2. Then minus 3 becomes positive 3x. And then the 7 also becomes positive because it's negative. If by any chance it was a plus 7, then our answer will be a negative 7. It's just the opposite sign. Now, for now, is just do the same. So there's an x to 2 here, x to 2 here, epsilon here, and the number here, number here. So x is true plus 2x is true. So 1 plus 2 is 3. So this is going to be 3x squared. Now 5x plus 3x. So 5 plus 3 is 8. So 8x. And then minus 6 plus 7. We just keep the sign of the greater one, which is 7. And then 7 minus 6 is 1. So plus 1. And this is our final answer. 3x squared plus a plus 1, which is D. Now, in this example, if px is x squared plus 2 minus 5 and qx is x minus 3, what is px minus qx? So let's do like the parentheses thing first. So px equal this whole thing. So px equal x squared plus 2x minus 5. And then minus q, so minus qx. Qx is x minus 3. Now we have a minus, so we keep the first parenthesis as it is. We don't change anything, but for the second we need to change the sign. So here this will become, this x is positive, so it will become minus x, and then the negative 3 will become positive, so plus 3. Now we repeat the process, x to 2, this is the only one, then to x alone, so this is x, and then the number, this is 5, and this is 3. So let's solve for that. Okay, we just keep x to 2, and then 2x minus x, we give the sign as the greater one, which is gonna be 2, and then 2 minus 1 is 1, so this is just x. And then 5 and 3, we give the sign as the greater one, which is 5, which is gonna be negative, and then 5 minus 3 is 2, so it will be minus 2. So it will be x squared plus x minus 2, which is c, and that's the correct answer. Now, 6. What is the simplified form of the expression? Okay, we do have the parentheses already. So let's do what we need to do. The first one, we skip it. The first one will always be the same. So it's just 6a to 5 plus a to 2 minus 5b to 3. And then for the second one, we change the sign. So there is a positive sign here. So it will be minus 3a to 3. Then this also be minus, so minus 6a squared. And then this one will be positive. So plus 2b to 3. And we repeat the same process. We have a to the 5 here, which there are no more. Then we have a to the 2. There's another one here. Then we have b to 3. And we also have a to 3. So let's see. A to the 5 is long, so we just keep it. 6, a to the 5. Then a to the 3 is also long, so I'm just gonna keep it. Minus 3a to the 3. And then we have a to the 2, but we have 2a to the 2. This one, the light blue one. So we keep the sign of the greater one. The greater one is 6, so it's gonna be negative. And then we say 6 minus 1. It's going to be 5, so minus 5a squared. Now let's look for b. B we have b to the 3. So we give the sign of the greater one, which is 5, so it's negative, minus, and then 5 minus 2 is 3, so minus 3, b to the 3. And this right there is our answer. So let's check. So 6 to 5 minus 3, 8 to 3, minus 5, 8 to 2, minus 3, b to 3, which is basically this one. Now let's check. Exactly. Now which expression is equivalent? This is basically the same. So the first one keeps being the same. 3w to 7 minus 7w to 2. And then we change the signs for the other one because we have a negative sign here. So it will be minus 2w to 3. And then it will be plus 11w to 2. Now we have a 2, 7 here. We have to the 3 here. And then what we have here is 2 and 2. So the 7 and the 3 is just gonna stay because we don't have anyone to, add or subtract them. And then the likely terms are 11 and 7, so we give the sign of the greater one, which is a positive. is going to be 11, and then 11 minus 7 is 4. So it's going to be 4w to 2, which is exactly C. Yep, great, better. Now, which polynomial is equal to when subtracted from? Now, this can be tricky because of the language. Like, if you're not familiar with it, it can be tricky a little bit. So, basically, what it's saying is that you need to subtract one from the other. But when you say from, the one that you say from for is going to be the first one. So I'm saying subtracted from this. So this one is going to be the first one. It's going to be the one at the left. So I'm going to say parentheses x to 3 minus x to 2 plus 3x minus, and then we put the other one, which is negative 3x squared plus 2x minus 3. Now remember, the first one just keep being the same, so x to 3 minus x squared plus 3x. And then we change the sign of the second one, so this one becomes positive. This one negative, minus 2x, and then this is positive. Now let's look for likely terms. X cubed by itself. We have x squared here, we have x squared here. We have x here and x here. And then we have just a number. So let's see. So x to the cube stays. Now we have this x to 2, and we give the sign as the greater one, which is going to be 3, so plus. Then 3 minus 1 is going to be 2, so 2x to 2. Now here again we give the sign of the greater one, which is 3, so it's positive. 3 minus 2, 1, so x. And then we keep the solo the long number. So this is our answer, which is C. Now let's simplify this. Okay. Here we have more than just subtraction or addition. We also have multiplication. There's a lot of ways to do this. So I'm just gonna do the one that is like easier, I think. So like first, let's multiply. So 4 times 3x is just 12x, and then 4 times negative 2, negative 8. And we keep the parentheses minus, open the parentheses and say 5 times 2 is like 10 in x. Then 5 times negative 6 is negative 3. And now that we have that, we have this, we just keep doing the same. The first parenthesis stays. The second changes the sign, so it will be minus 10x plus 3. We look for likely terms. And then we say 12 minus 10 is 2, so 2x, and then 3 minus 8, which is keeping the sign of the greater one, so started the smaller one, so 3 minus x is 22. And that's our answer. 2x plus, wait, did I miss anything? 22 is this one. Yeah. Okay. Next one, the simplified in this case. So we have negative 3 and now I'm gonna do the other way around. So 4x minus 2 minus 7 2x plus 6. There is a way to skip this part, so we do not need to change the signs when we have this kind of thing. It's basically what I'm gonna do now. So this is negative 3 times 4 is negative 12x. This is the same as before. And then negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6. Now, if I take this instead of saying 7, I say negative 7, then I don't need to worry about the sign later. So I say negative 7 times 2, negative 14x, and then negative 7 times 6 is negative 42. And it's the same as saying this, which will be the answer doing it the other way around. So here let's look at likely terms. Here. Let's say they are both negative, so we keep the sign and we add them together. 12 plus 14 is 26, so 26x. And here we keep the sign of the greater one, which is going to be 42, so negative, and then 42 minus 6 is just 36. So negative 26 minus 36, which is D. (11) A rectangle has a width of x and a length of 3x squared minus 5x minus 7, which expression represents the perimeter of the rectangle. So first, let's do this. Let's draw the rectangle. Oops. So I know my x, my length and width is x. So this is my width, is also my width. And then my length is 3x cubed minus 5x plus 7. 3x cubed minus 5x plus minus 7. Now I know that the opposite sides are equal. So, the length is going to be the same for this side and for this side. And the width is the same with this side and for this side. So that's the reason I put them in the both sides. Now the perimeter is the addition of all sides. So it's going to be x plus 3x cubed minus 5x minus 7 plus x plus 3x cubed minus 5x minus 7. Oh my, here I miss a plus. Now, since they are all plus, there is no negative sign before the parentheses. We just take the parentheses away. I didn't want to write it again, so I just deleted them. You can do either of the two. And now let's look for likely terms. So we have x to 3 here, x to 3 here. Oh, this is supposed to be a 3. Then we have x, so x, 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 and x. And we have the single numbers, so here and here. Now let's start with x to 3. So 3x plus 3x cube is going to be 6x cubed. Now let's look at the x. So we have, let's say x minus 5x is going to be negative 4x and negative 4x plus x. Okay, let's do this. X minus 5x plus x minus 5x. x. Now let's take it from parts. So x minus, we keep a minus 5x, we keep the sign of the greater one, which is going to be minus. And then 5 minus 1 is 4, so 4x. And here is exactly the same, minus 4x. Now they both have the same sign, so we just keep the sign and add them together. So 4 plus 4 is 8, so minus 8x. So here we have a minus 8x, and then minus 7, we keep the sign and add it together, so it will be minus 14, because 7 plus 7 is 14. And this is our answer, which is exactly B. Now let's continue. So 12. I think I'm just gonna do this one, another one. So let's do this. It's a subtraction. So we need to change the signs of the second one. The first one stay the same and do 1.5 x squared plus 7 over 3. 7 over 3 x minus 7. Then we change the sign. So this one is a minus 4x squared minus 5 over 4x plus 2. Now look for likely terms. We have x squared here, x squared here, x here, x here, and then number on number. So we say minus 1.5x and minus 4, these have the same sign, so we keep the sign and add them together. 1.5 plus 4 is going to be 5.5, so 5.5x squared. Now, 7 over 3 and 5 over 4, they are both with x, and they have different sign. So we need to keep the sign of the greater one, which I know you guys might not know which one is the greater one. So I'm just gonna skip that part and do the calculation first so you guys can see. We have 7 over 3 minus 5 over 4. They are both x's, but we know the answer is going to be something x. So let's just do the calculation first. When we're doing like an addition or subtraction of a fraction, we need to have an denominator in common, which is the number at the bottom. So we can just multiply this. We can say 3 times 4, and 3 times 4 is going to be 12. Now this one is like the tricky part, so I'm going to say 12 divided by 3, 4. Then 4 multiplied by 7 is 28. Then we give them a negative, and then 12 divided by 4, 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. So this stays 28 minus 15 over 12. Now 28 minus 15 is 13, so this is 13 over 12. And as you can see, the answer was positive, so it means that we are looking for a positive answer for ours. So it's 13 over 12x. Now let's look at the number alone. We keep the sign of the greater one, which is 7, so minus, and then 7 minus 2 is 5, so minus 5. And this one right here is our answer, which is C. Yep. And now let's look this, the last one. So here, I'm just gonna keep the same, we are addition. We are using addition, so we do not care about the parentheses. That is going to be the same, so I'm just going to write the first one. 3x squared plus 4x, 4.3x minus 8.25. Now I need to do the multiplication here. So 2.5 times 11. That's going to be, I think, 26.5. Let's just do it in the calculator. So 2.5 times 11, 27.5. My bad. So 27.5 but 2.5 positive, 11 is negative. So this is going to be negative. So minus 27.5. You can actually do this in your calculator, but yeah. I prefer to have the knowledge in the mind. And then 2.5 times 5, which is going to be 12.5 and x. You want to check? Oops. Which is 12.5. And we keep the x. Now let's look for likely terms. We have an x squared here. We have an x here. We have another x here. And then we have the solo numbers. So we keep the x squared, so 3x squared. Now 4.3x plus 12.5, they are both positive, so we keep the positive sign. And we add them together and it's going to be 16.8x. And then here the numbers, they both have a negative sign, so we keep the negative sign and add them together. And 27.5 plus 3 plus 8.25 is going to be 35.75, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure. So 8.5 plus 8.27 plus 27. Yeah, 35.75. And it's negative because they are both negative. And this right here is our answer, which is exactly D. Yeah. That's all for today. I will continue next week. And we'll continue working with polynomials. So have a great week.